Hi everyone and welcome. I just wanted to do a quick little tutorial or instructional video on how to put together. These are hidden paper clips and it's like a stationary hidden paper clip. So this is a digital download you can find on my Etsy shop. So if you're interested in what we are putting together today, I will link that down below. So the kit is very large and I'll go over all that in just a second. But I do have a couple I'll show you that I've already put together, and then we will put one together here in just a minute. But for this, it's like a stationary style. So you have your front, well, I don't know if it's the front. I guess it depends on what side you have it on. But you have the one side that's got the little papers, little notepad, and it's got a little tuck that tucks into. Then it's got your pen. And then on the back side, it has the belly band with your envelopes. On the inside, you get two different little tuck spots here. And then on the inside here, you have your letters. So that is what we'll be doing. And I just kind of want to show you guys it in action. So here's the one I've made as well. Just a different. So the kit comes with 6 different prints. So you'll see these prints are included in it as well as these. And I was really doing it to like give you guys kind of like an option on how you guys want to put it together. So if you guys want to make all 6 of the hidden paper clips, you will need to print out it's the base as well as the pen bands. You'll need to print that out twice because I've only did 3 because you can only have really so many of those prints. So I just did a light, a medium, and a dark print or a darker print on that depending on what you want. So that's that. Now I just want to take a moment and say thank you to all the people that were so kind in the last video. So if you haven't seen that yet, it's a video on, like I would have a pumpkin folio. So I do have a free giveaway for Halloween on that one as well. So if you guys want to check that out, I will also link that down in the description. But like I was saying, you guys have been amazing and I truly appreciate it. You guys gave me so much like inspiration. It was just amazing. So I do have a freebie for you guys today as well too. So I think I'm saying so a lot. I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous. But this will be the freebie, and you guys will be able to find this down in the description box below. So this also has the little pen band right here. And then you have some ephemera that come with it. And then you got your little notepad with the tuck spot. It's basically the same thing. And spot for your envelopes. And I spent more time decorating this for whatever reason. I don't know. I was wanted to give this away. Is that what I'm actually doing? So I wanted to get this together. But I had what do you call it? Like a diamond painting. And I had a bunch of these little, I guess you call them diamonds, little gems left over from that. So I added that on there. I added a little glitter. So a little creepy cloth. It turned out really cute. So grab yours down below and follow along with this tutorial. There's a couple spots where you may question what is going on, and I will go over all that in this tutorial. So let me get this stuff set aside here and let's go over what you will need. Goodness gracious, that was loud. Let me go over things that you will need for putting this together. So of course you're going to want some type of glue. Now I've only used the liquid glue on this. I haven't tried like glue stick or even double-sided tape, so I'm not sure how that will do, but for the most part I use Fabri-Tac, and then I got my glitter glue. You will need a pair of scissors. Of course you're going to need some kind of paper clip. Now all of the thumb notches I have, let me show you one. In this kit, they're going to be 1.5 inch circle punch. So if you have one of those, it comes in handy for punching those out. Now for the the pen band, this part can get super weak over time if you leave it just like the cardboard. Cardboard. Goodness gracious, Sienna, slow down. So it can get super weak with cardstock. So I highly recommend actually putting something over it. So that can be like, this is just like a knitted lace. On the Halloween one, I just had some ribbon. I was at Hobby Lobby and they had this on sale for 50% off over the weekend. And then on my other one, I actually used like, this is like a burlap ribbon, I guess. I'm not sure. So, but those are the couple that I have used and they're working out great. So I highly recommend adding something. You can also add fabric if you want, and then even elastic. Let me show you. So if you guys have elastic at home, this one, my fingers are all messed up because I've been coffee dyeing stuff, and this was one of the things I coffee dyed. So you can easily use this instead, and that would probably work out well. So just regular elastic. Yeah. So anything that would just add straight to it, I highly recommend. Now, let me get my stuff aside here. So when it comes to the kit, there is tons of stuff as part of this kit. So I don't know if I mentioned, but there is 6 different designs, and it ended up being so many designs because I couldn't really decide on which ones I wanted to keep and not keep. So I just put them all in there is what I did. So you will find several different, you'll find all 6 designs for each piece, except for, of course, the base and the pen band. So let me go over what you're going to need for starting out with getting everything put together. So of course you're going to want, I have it all laid out here and it looks like I'm already missing stuff. No, here it is. Sorry if my voice is a little cracky. It's the change of seasons, and I don't know what it is about the change of seasons, but every year in the spring and the fall, my voice starts getting cracky. So I apologize, but you're going to want a base. So I've gone through, I've inked everything, so it makes it a whole lot easier. At least I've inked what I can now anyways. So another thing I wanted to mention was there was a couple pieces where I was debating on should I mark on the paper where to score this. And I feel like it's pretty obvious. If you can see there, like there's a line that you're going to score. But there's some spots, like for instance on the belly band page, it was either get all the belly bands on one page or split up the belly bands and mark where to score them. And I felt like that was a huge waste of paper. So if you see this white along with the color, you're going to want to score those areas. I just didn't want anyone having to waste more paper than you had to. So anyways, back to what you're going to need to put one of these together. So you're going to want to get one of your bases and then one of your base covers. Then you're going to want your tabbed cover. It's going to go like this. Then on this side, you're going to want a notepad cover. So that will go there. You'll notice this is white, and that's no big deal because I do have a cover here for that. And then optionally, you can get yourself, cut out one of these little tucks. This is purely just to help the paper not get hung up on things. Let me show you. When you're flipping in and out of your journal, these pages can move around, and I was trying to get it to not get torn or messed up. So that's why I provided that. If you don't want to use it, that's fine. You don't have to use it. But I did make it an adjustable size, so you may need to cut this to fit. Because depending on where you put this, like say someone puts it up higher. Well, I don't think you'd put it up that high, but this would work perfect for that. But if you wanted to have it further down, because that's what works, it really does cover up a bunch of the paper. So I would trim this down to fit. So, and you'll know what size it needs to be as we get further into this. I just wanted you to be aware. So then you're going to want a set of paper. Oh, do you know what I forgot to add to the supply list? You're going to want a way to attach this if you're not using glue. You can also use staples. I use some rivets on this one. So I think I'm going to staple this one just for the sake of time. But you can use glue if you want to. Or the rivets. Whatever you think will work for you. Or whatever you have on hand is what I should say. So you'll want the notepad paper. And these are the longer of the two sets of paper. So you'll see. So that will be it for that side. And then on the other side, when you flip this over, this will end up folding up like that. And you're going to want the folding pockets. So another note on this, some of the two of the pages are directional. Now I did take that into consideration when I put this together because one, I don't know if you're going to want to fold this over and it be like this in my journal, like I have in here, where it opens this way, or if you want it to open the other way. So when you're putting these two of these pieces are going to be put together and you're going to glue them together. And And so I did take that into consideration. So when you are picking out your pieces, make sure that the two thumb notches are going to be back to back. So otherwise the thumb notch, it could have been down here based on which one I picked. So the other thing is I made this a little thicker just because it's folding in and out. And that's really what I wanted to, I just felt like that worked best for what I was doing. But I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, and you can definitely print on this page as well. Double-sided. I did have like, I think there's like 6 backer pages, if not more. I'm not sure. I know there's at least 6 in the kit. So you can print on both sides and get this not as thick. But like I said, I like chunky. I don't know what it is. And it worked out well. So you'll want that. Then you will also want to pick out a couple of pockets. So you're going to want a shorty, little thin one, and then a long one for the side. And then you're also going to want to print out your papers that will be tucking into that. Oop, almost forgot. You're going to want your belly band as well as a pen band. All right, so let's get started. And we are going to start with the pen band. So this one will be another one that you can cut down to size. Now, if you are not putting paper, or I'm sorry, if you're not putting any kind of like ribbon or lace on this, then you can leave it just the way it is. But for me, I'm going to cut down a piece of this ribbon here. Oh, I'm almost out. I'm glad I got more. So cut that down. And you're just going to make it match this size. So I take my pen and borrow this little guy. And once you add the ribbon, you just saw me take this out. It comes out really well. And I was nervous at first because these are the Pilot G210s. I use these pens all the time for everything. I absolutely love these pens. Even though I really enjoy like the fancy, cutesy little pens, they just don't have the writing power, like the way I like to write. They just don't have it. So I always gravitate to these pens, and because it had these little rubber things, I was nervous because I was like, is it going to get stuck? And it can. It does get hung up a little bit, but for the most part, it works out well. So happy with that. Now you're just going to take this and line it up with the bottom. So you can see that right there. My goodness. And then you are just going to make a little mark. And you're going to cut that down. When you're cutting this, if you make it a little bit shorter than the ribbon, that is fine. I actually prefer it that way. And if I could cut a straight line, that would make it helpful. So not really a very good straight line, but it's still going to work. It's going to be just fine. So for this one, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac. Add some glue here. And we're just going to get this glued up so we can set it aside. There's going to be a couple spots where we just need a few minutes to let things dry. And I will let you know when those times come. But just for the sake of things not moving, it's best to just give it a few minutes. And if you're using Fabri-Tac, if you've used it before, you know that besides the fact that it's stinky, it will dry fairly fast. So go ahead and get your fingers dirty by rubbing this ribbon all over this. And I left my rag. Where's my rag? Okay. So just make sure it's nice and smooth. And then we are going to set this aside. And give that a few minutes to dry. And while that is drying, we are going to move on to the notepad. So we are going to be using this piece right here, and you guys can mix and match this. There's different, each one of these, like I said, there's 6 different designs. So whatever you want to do, you do. So let me grab my stapler. Now, if you wanted to glue this, you could absolutely glue it. You would just take your pieces, add some glue, and then do one piece at a time, starting from the back. But like I said, for the sake of time, I'm going to use my stapler. So for this one, the pages are pretty similar. So, but I recommend, like, if there's different design, if you're on have a different design, to go through it and make sure that the pieces you want are up in the front. Like this one has a little darker. Do you want it there? Do you not? Same with this one. Where do you want it? So just kind of go through, figure out how you want everything set up. And then you're going to tuck this in. I'm hoping my stapler will go through this because I haven't tried stapling it. So, and then you're going to staple. I'm going to put 2 in. Yay, it worked. So staples, and you're never going to see these because we are going to cover them up. So take some, once again, I'm going to do the Fabri-Tac. And if you have like just like Elmer's glue, it'd probably work too. I'm just not a fan. I feel like it takes a very long time to dry. And I printed most of this stuff on cardstock, just like I think it was 65 or 67 pound cardstock. I'm not sure. I will link it down below which one I printed this on so you guys can see. They are going to be probably, well, some of my links will be affiliate links, so that means I earn a small commission if you guys decide to buy it at no extra cost to you. So I will try to link everything I possibly can that I'm using in the link description below, like if you were interested in the lace or whatnot. But those, like the Hobby Lobby, they don't have an affiliate link, but I will link it down below if I can find it. I will link it for you. So we are going to set that aside till just let that dry. And see, this is why I like the Fabri-Tac. It's only been a couple minutes and this stuff is ready to go. So we are going to go back to our base here. And you're going to want to take your paper clip. Now these are, I think they're 1 and 3/4. Yeah, so these are about an, can you guys see that? My lighting's not very good. I'm sorry, guys. In any case, it's about 1 3/4 or so. So that's the size I'm using. I've actually wondered if some of my bigger ones would work. I haven't tried it yet. So if you guys do try different sizes, let me know how that works for you. So I like to follow the bigger side on the bigger side. I don't know if that actually matters. It probably doesn't. Okay. So for this next part, I like to make sure everything is lined up. And then I fold it in half, and you can kind of see it was already bent. I was just playing with it. But you're going to fold this in half, and you're going to take your pen, and you're going to roll this. And I do this after I put the fabric on there, purely because I feel like that it needs to get moved. It needs to be manipulated so that it works well. So, and if you're not using it, any of the lace or cover on it, I think regardless, this is still a good spot to do this in. So just roll that. I don't know if you guys saw, I actually have score marks on there. If you guys want to score it, go for it. I just find that it didn't make a difference whether I rolled it or scored it. So I felt like I took a lot of time scoring it, and I just didn't need to. So now you should have a little spot here, so that way your pen fits in there. So just give it a, a good 30 seconds of rolling and see. The next step I like to do is line up my pieces. And I'm going to trim off the excess because it does go pretty far across the base. And I don't want to, oh, I should have got my other scissors. Okay, it worked. I don't want it to go so far that the piece is sticking out. Now, I didn't do a bunch of different styles in the base because you see very little of the base. So you'll notice that's why I didn't do a bunch, because it was just silly to do. So what I like to do is I kind of figure out where my pen's going to go. And I feel like I put it in the wrong spot on this side. On this one? Oh, no, I guess it's okay. Why did I feel like it was in the wrong spot? I don't know. Okay. So you are going to need your pen, and you're going to figure out about where you're going to put it. So I slide it up underneath the paper clip. I can already tell I need a little bit more. So once you kind of have it in there, you're going to put your pen in, and you need to make sure that you have plenty of room for your pen to go in and out. So I'm going to give it a little less. And so just the paper clip's there just to help keep it in place. So, and also when you glue this on, it's going to be glued shut right here. So you want to take that into consideration when you're doing it. So I feel like that is perfect. Now you want to glue this down in place. So you're going to take your paper clip and just slide it up. And then I fold all the way over. and add some glue. And it doesn't matter if you go outside the lines because you're going to glue this entire thing. What's important is to make sure that your stuff is one straight, which mine is not. And then also that it stays in place, right? So make sure to give it a good amount of glue so that way it stays in place. So there. So now the back side is glued. Add some more glue there. And just stay like maybe like 1/8 of an inch or so away from the edge so it doesn't leak into, because once you push it down it can spread and you don't want that. So once that is in place, what I like to do is put on 2 paper clips and let it just sit. Make sure, like I said, it's straight, and then you also want to double check just to make sure nothing moved, that your pen works. So I'm going to give this a minute and I will be right back. Okay, so now that is dry and I went and got a drink of water because like I said, my throat, so I hope I'm not too scratchy for you guys. Okay, so on to the next step. So you are going to take your paper clip and just follow the little paperclip indicator that I've included there for you guys, like that. And then you are going to take your base cover. So you want to make sure that the long side is with the long side. Oops, I guess I should have it in frame. So long side with long side. And if you've ever made a hidden paperclip before, you know that it kind of teeters at the top and it can kind of mess with you when you are trying to straighten it out. So just do your best to make sure that you have it evenly spaced. And you'll do one side at a time. So, okay. So we will start with the long side first. Now I use a lot of glue. I don't know if you should actually use a lot of glue. I just know when I don't use enough glue, things fall apart. So once again, I'm going to take the Fabri-Tac for this and come on, put a ton of glue. So I start with making sure my paper clip is completely covered, and then I kind of just follow along a little bit along the ribbon, and then I also do a pretty thick line of glue right on the edge there. Let me move this down a little bit. And then I will, instead of gluing this part, you are going to want to glue the top part here. So just make sure it's lined up. Fold it over. Let me move it up for you guys. So once we get the other side glued down, it will be another, we're going to paperclip everything down and wait another few more minutes. So I just rinse and repeat on this side. So cover the paper clip. Make sure to get the crease. I think I was trying to think of that word earlier and I missed it. And then follow along. Fold it over, and you're going to want to check both sides to make sure that it stays even. Okay, so I have a ton of paper clips here. I'm just going to go through and put paper clips on each side of the paper clip. Just making sure everything stays aligned. And you can use anything to hold it down. You can use something heavy if you want. That works as well too. So once again, we're just gonna let this set up and we will get to the next part here in just a minute. Okay, so I think it's been about 5 or so minutes and this feels dry enough to work with. The most important thing is you don't want it to be able to move around. So as long as it's steady and stays in place, you should be good. All right, so the next part we're gonna work on is the tabbed cover. And for this one, you're gonna take the longer side and actually put it to the shorter piece here. So we'll stick that over like this. And so I personally match it up to the bottom of this page here. But if you wanted to move it around a little bit, you can, whatever works for you. And so for this one, once again, we're gonna grab the Fabri-Tac and you're gonna glue all of the tab right here along the seam and follow it around. So you're not trying to get too much glue on the other side because you're gonna, in a minute here, you're gonna get this folded once it sets up. And you don't want that glue to stick to that side. So I probably over glue. Just like that. And press this down. And make sure that it's in place. Perfect. Okay. So while that's drying, we can continue to work. You're going to take that little notepad and you're going to figure out where about you want it. So I would keep it away here in a minute. Once it dries a little bit, we're going to fold this and it's going to fold right along the line of where the seam is right here. So I would avoid that area and keep it down a little bit further. I don't know if you can see in there, but in any case, just keep it down a little bit further. So I think I'm going to go right around there. Yep. And then once again, glue. Make sure it's centered and it looks good. It's away from my seam, so my seam is right here. This is where I'm going to fold. And so seam is right there. Right there. Can you guys see it? I don't know, it's really hard on the camera. And so this is right here. So maybe 1/4 of an inch down or so. Just give that a good press, make sure it's in place. And then the next is going to be the tuck spot down here. And I think I've mentioned this, but this is optional. And also, you're probably going to have to cut this down. At least I prefer to cut it down, because if I left it the size it is, there's quite a bit of extra there. And it makes it a little bit harder to pull the pages in and out. So if you want it that long, you can keep it that long. Completely up to you. But I think I'm going to go down further. So I'm going to go up maybe right there. Yeah, like that. So I'm just going to flip it over, give it a little mark, and hopefully I can cut this straight this time. Let's see. All right, so, and of course not, I can't cut nothing straight. So just tidy it up, and if you have like a paper trimmer cutter, you can use that. And then I've been using dark roast on this, so I'm just gonna get the edges. Wow. And then we will glue that in place. Now for this one, you want to make sure if it's directional like this is, that it's of course going the correct direction, but you're also only going to want to glue the 2 sides and the bottom. So for this, I'm going to use my glitter glue, just because it does it like it's got the skinnier top, so it doesn't make as big of a line. Make sure everything's lined up. Hopefully yours is squarer than mine is. And just press it down, and we'll go on to the back. So by this point, your tabbed cover should be plenty dry, and you're going to take just the tabbed cover. So you're going to leave everything else, just the tab cover, and you are going to pull it up. See what I mean about the glue? I got it on the inside. And you are going to fold it back. And then I take this piece, just give it a little crease, and I bend it and bend it. So now, in theory, guess my crease was a little off, but that's okay. So that's what it will look like. I got glue on my side here. Keeps hanging it up. Okay. So, and I overglued. So this is what happens when you overglue. Got stuck there. I just wanted to make a quick note here. So some of these pages are directional. So for instance, this writing, if I was to glue it onto, so these trees are directional too. So I do have two different trees, so you can see, but they are directional. So if I was to use that first one, this one that's already glued, with this piece, it wouldn't have worked. So make sure when you're laying everything out that you're grabbing the right pieces, because with this one and this one, it works great. So just a heads up, some pages are directional. Let's say you want your pocket to go this way. You want to make sure that your design is the correct direction. If you want it to go this way, well, that one works, but on some of them it may not. So just make sure that everything, when you cut it out and you just dry fit it, this is two pieces glued together, and I should have actually shown that. So two pieces glued together, and then I just make sure that it all lines up, give it a good ink, and then I use my hole puncher, make sure that it give myself a little thumb notch there, and then that will fold over. So if I repeated myself, I'm sorry. But you're just going to take your scoreboard, line it up, and because it's double, I give it a really good press, and I actually want to go this way with it. So in my other journals, I have had it all on this side, but for this one, I'm going to do it on this side. So I'm just changing it up a little bit. Take something like a bone folder and really press it down. And then also give it a good ink if you want. This step is of course optional, but I just feel like it gives it a good look. I don't know. And I'm sorry for sitting here inking. I'm not a fan of watching people ink, but I'm absolutely a huge fan of inking. So this time I'm going to have it fold open this way, and on this one it folded open this way. So I just wanted to try it out and see how it looked. So that's what I'm going with here. So you kind of just want an idea about where you're going to be placing it. So you have just a little bit on each side here. And I'm going to move it up just a smidgen. Yeah, like that. So that's about where I'm going to have it. And for this one, once again, you're going to glue not the top, of course, where the thumb notch is, but just the sides and the bottom. Oh, it already plugged up. So I'm using the glitter glue for this. So definitely do it straighter than I can if you can. If not, it'll be fine. It will be fine. So just kind of eyeball it. Give it a good push, and that should be good. Now, onto the pockets. So, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna glue this piece. This is just a little, this is like the medium size rectangle. This is just gonna go right down here. Well, I guess I should have it in frame. So this should go just like this, right there. So we will glue that down. And that's just to cover up the white so you don't see it. And then I'm not going to do it just to make you guys not watch me ink, but you can also ink this so that little tiny bit of white that's showing there will not be peeking through. Okay, so now when it comes to the pockets, you have, I did include 2 pockets per little paper clip. Now, if you want, let me show you my original. This is the one I had made a while ago. And I had put the pocket, the smaller pocket, on the top here. And when I would, when you flip it open, things can fall out. I was like, oh, that's silly. So I actually am going to put it down here on the bottom. And then this one, I'm going to put, I like to keep it opposite of the pen, so that way if things are sticking out, like if I have this here, and I have a big piece, and I fold it over, it's right where the pen is. So I don't want that. If you want it, you can do whatever you want. It's very customizable. But I don't personally want it, so I'm going to put it like that. And then, oops. Hold on, I dropped my paper. Okay. And then this one is going to go right here at the bottom. So once again, don't glue the top, just glue the sides. One pocket down. Okay. So now those are in place. Before everything dries up completely, I'm just going to double check my pockets and make sure that I have not glued things that aren't supposed to be glued. So that one's good. This one's probably still too wet, but I just always like to double check. Perfect. Okay. Now, for the next part is going to be the belly band. So just kind of eyeball it about where you're going to want it. And then, oh no. I hate when this does that. So my glue, I don't know why it does that. Sometimes I think it's the way the pressure is in the bottle. A bunch will seep out everywhere. So I'm just gonna pretend like I'm 5 and just rub it in, because we only live once. All right, belly band is in place. Make sure it's straight. I feel like my tab got a little off, but it's okay. It's beautimous. So the next step is you're gonna have your letters, and those can slide in. And this is why I chose the pocket on this side, because I didn't want to hide the poinsettia. So beautiful. I think there's what, 8 in here? 3, 6. So 6 pages. You might be able to get a couple more if you wanted to print out a couple more. Let's see. I have some printed here. So you can add in multiples, you can change it up. I don't know how many you can get in. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get in 12. Let's see. Kind of questionable at 12. So snug fit, maybe able to work. I'm just gonna stick with my original 6, but feel free to mix them up, add more. There's some designs in there that are just the designs. Is it picking up on the camera? And then there's some with the images as well. So for the next part, I need my envelopes. And of all the things that I did, I don't know why I didn't put my envelopes together. So I'm making a few of these for friends. So I actually printed out some, I keep saying actually too. I don't know, I think that's gotta be a nerve thing. I apologize. But let's see. I printed out some of these. I have some mulberry paper, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but sometimes they make like lamps out of it. And it turned out really cute. I'll show you guys here in a minute. And then I also printed out some on the vellum, which is also very cute. So get that folded. Now, of course, normally I'd ink this, but I'm not going to do that for this one. Now, for these, do you see how it's kind of straight and then it's got a little bit of a curve, but kind of straight and then starts to curve? You're going to want to start at that starts to curve and up on both of these flaps, and that should be perfect spot for the glue. Now also, you want to make sure that you are gluing the side that has the flat bottom, because this part will go over. Like so. So it'll be like that, and you should probably give it a good pressing. Okay, so just follow that little line. Just do a very thin amount of glue. It doesn't have to be a lot. And it's hard for me to tell myself because I always do a lot of glue. I don't know what it is, but then you're gonna fold your sides in and then over. And it should be the perfect spot, and you don't have to worry about getting any glue out of the sides, in theory, anyways. So I always like to double check, make sure I don't glue it shut, and it looks good. Perfect. So this will go inside here, just like that. And then I'm not going to sit here and decorate it because I've already done a few, and I'm still got to get working on those. But there's all kinds of things for you guys to add in to these if you want to use them. I did try making, like I have this, I don't know, it's not a ribbon, I don't know, it's just like a decorative piece, but I feel like it's too red. Too red for this. And then I also like the gathered lace. I added some gathered lace onto this one. I had some, this one actually, this ribbon I got from Hobby Lobby over the weekend as well. So I added that on there. So you guys can go and do all kinds of different things with this. I'm sure they're going to turn out beautiful. Now, if you guys do make this kit, let me know down below, like what kind of embellishments or what kind of things did you add to your kit, because I'm curious. So also, if you enjoyed this video and if you enjoyed your freebie, or if you liked your freebie, if you loved your freebie, if you could, please give me at least a like, if not maybe a subscribe or even a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with you guys today, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Take care.